Thank you for returning to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. We are live streaming into the midst of an event that transcends athletics. Tennis is no longer the exclusive topic. A cultural phenomena is what we are currently seeing, what is taking place on the internet environment, and what is resonating in the hearts of millions of people. A young woman's lone desire and the nation's collective spirit, which won't let her walk alone, collide spiritually. Athletes have triumphed. We have witnessed sportsmen shed tears, but we have rarely, if ever, witnessed a moment of such sheer, unfiltered vulnerability that it stops a whole nation from scrolling and compels them to face the mirror. Because of the headline, you clicked. On this video, millions of people saw the headline through their hearts. From Manila to Madrid, from Dubai to New York, you saw the quote that is presently trending at the top of every social media site. What number of you are in prayer? A 20-year-old girl standing by herself in the spotlight of the Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Championships said those 6 words, only 6 words, while crying and exhausted from a 2-hour battle on the court. Alexandra Eala, the queen of the court, the phenom, the golden girl, she just accomplished the impossible once more. The narrative isn't the forehand winner this time, though. There is no tiebreak. It's hardly even a top 10 giants upset. The breakdown is the story. The breakthrough is the story. She posed the question to a thunderous assembly of thousands of Filipinos employed abroad who transformed a Middle Eastern tennis stadium into a shrine of hope. We're not merely reviewing a game today, we're breaking down a miracle. We will walk you through the intensity of the match versus Jasmine Pini, the 8th-ranked player in the world, minute by minute. We'll dissect Alex Eala's strategies, perspiration, anxiety, and sheer tenacity in order to guarantee her spot in the round of 16. More significantly, though, we are delving deeper than ever before into contemporary psychology. What made her cry? She asked that inquiry, but why? And when she served a match, why did it feel like the whole Philippine flag was hanging on her shoulders? It's a deep dive. Here's the tale of how Alex Eala achieved more than simply a victory in a tennis match. She had an impact on a people's spirit. We are discussing Dubai's Filipino fever. We are discussing the reverberations of 2025, her breakthrough year, and how each sacrifice, lonesome evening at the Rafa Nadal Academy, and agonizing loss contributed to the particular emotional outburst. Reports of the stadium's atmosphere are flooding in. In the stands, people weep, hugging each other, strangers. It was loud enough to compete with a boxing match in Vegas. In women's tennis, this has never happened before, for a player that is currently rated 47th in the world. Alexa's more than just a ranking, though. She's a force. And she shed those tears as she gazed up at the sea of faces lit by the floodlights. She wasn't merely addressing the Dubai crowd. She was addressing all of the Filipinos who were watching on their phones, laptops, and living rooms at home. "Are you with me?" she asked, and the answer is unquestionably yes. So, fasten your seatbelt. We need to cover a lot of ground. We're going to examine the data. The WTA Tour has been rocked by the thrilling 6-1 7-6 triumph. We'll examine the past. Eala is the youngest Asian player to win in the top 10 of several WTA 1000 competitions. We'll examine the future. The heart of a champion who dared to be vulnerable, will be the main topic of discussion, along with the implications for her ranking, confidence, and the remainder of the 2026 season. The center of a group of supporters who transformed a tennis match into a gathering for prayer. If you believed you were familiar with Alex Eala's story, you should reconsider. Highlights have been shown to you. However, you haven't been told the truth. You haven't realized how serious what just transpired is. This is a thorough examination of the point at which Alexandra Eala transcended her athletic career. She became an icon at this point. Remain with me. We are going to go through the flames with her for the next hour, so don't click away. Today, Alex Eala will help us comprehend why everyone is crying. The news is this. The analysis is as follows. This is the truth. Let's begin. We must first grasp the arena's reality and the background of the Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Championships in order to appreciate the significance of this viral moment. It's a WTA 1000 event. Let me clarify what it implies for those of you who may be casual fans. The 4 Grand Slams are at the top of the tennis hierarchy. They are immediately followed by the WTA 1000s. The titans are these. Because of the enormous, points, the potentially life-altering prize money, and the unquestionable prestige. These are the tournaments where the greatest of the best compete. Eala, rated 47th in the world, arrived in Dubai. Yes, it was a career high, set earlier this month in February 2026. However, number 47 is still the underdog in a draw that features players like Aryna Sabalenka, Coco Gauff, and Elena Rybakina. Instead of being the prey, she is still the hunter. The draw gods also gave her a mountain to climb in the round of 32. The world number 8 is the Italian powerhouse, Jasmine Paolini. 2 years ago, this player advanced to the tournament's finals, a player whose speed and unrelenting topspin turn opponents into dust. This was Paolini's match to lose on paper. The Italian was favored by the odds makers. The Italian had a better experience. However, a crowd was the one X factor, the one that no algorithm could compute. There are hundreds of thousands of Filipinos living in Dubai. It essentially functions as a home court outside of the house. Additionally, there was an unpleasant mood when Eala entered the court for the night session. It wasn't Wimbledon's subdued, polite mood. It had an electric charge. It was raucous. It was a celebration. Over the railings were banners that read Pride of the Philippines and Laban Alex. Before a single ball was even played, the stadium walls echoed with the shout Ali Ali Ali, which was a play on her name and the Filipino term for go. Now, let's discuss the first set. You missed it if you blinked. Alex didn't have a good start. She caught fire. Under the guidance of her staff at the Rafael Nadal Academy, we have been monitoring a particular development in her game since late 2025. It's the hostility. In the past, Alex would methodically build points while anticipating a mistake. The 2026 Alexa is ahead of the curve. She enters the baseline. In opposition to Penny, a player renowned for her defensive scrambling, she commands. Eala was the one who attacked. She struck the court. She was discovering angles that defy geometry with her left-handed forehand, which has always been her weapon. After breaking Paolini once, she did it twice. The Italian appeared stunned. Eala wasn't allowing her any breathing room, so she was unable to find her rhythm. A narrative is conveyed by the scoreline, being 6-1. In less than half an hour, a breadstick against a top 10 player. There was complete frenzy among the crowd. They were cheering, stamping their feet, and yelling. It was like being crowned. However, tennis is a game of momentum, as we all know. There's a reason Jasmine Paolini is in the top 10. She is a combative individual. She is a fighter. The script was reversed in the second set. The game was slowed down by Paolini. Her blows became more intense. To force Eala back, use heavier balls. She began to grunt more loudly as she struggled for every inch. The Italian's simple mistakes disappeared. It was a dog battle all of a sudden. At this point, the story becomes a human drama rather than a sporting highlight. The pressure started to build at this point. It's visible on Alex's face. Adrenaline was used in the first set. Anxiety was the second set. Sensing the change, the throng became louder, but their nervousness echoed hers. Every involuntary mistake Eala made caused the stands to collectively groan in pain. Each victory generated a jet engine-like noise. Consider the psychological toll it would take on a 20-year-old. You're up a set. You're competing against a top 10 player. Since your triumph is also their victory, thousands of your compatriots are yelling your name in desperation for you to win. Their suffering is validated by your victory. When all you were attempting to do was hit a yellow, fuzzy ball over a net, that was a lot to bear. The second set was intense. On 2 occasions, Eala took a break. Twice. Penny pulls back. 5-3 was the final score. While Penny was serving, Eala had match points. 3 points for the match, 3 chances to finish it off. There were 3 instances where success was just a swing away. And Penny produced the items 3 times. A smash, a forced error, a line clipper. 5-4, the game was lost. At 5-4, Eala then served to end the match. She was broken, and the stadium was holding its breath. It was oppressively tense. In between points, you could see Alex, using her towel to wipe her face. As much as she was fighting Paolini, she was also fighting her nerves. She lost 2 set points at 5-6. The match would go to a third set if she lost this one, and the odds would fall apart in a third set against a seasoned player with a swing like Paolini. However, this is Eala's new self. Last year in Miami, this variant defeated IG Swiatek. She discovered a source of bravery. She kept the set points. The tiebreak was forced by her, and her career was encapsulated in the tiebreak. Oh, the tiebreak. Brightness and hesitancy, highs and lows. 4-4, then 5-5. The umpire had to repeatedly call for calm. Since the crowd was chanting so loudly, Penny's backhand was missed. The fourth match. Point was on Eala's racket this time. She was a servant. Pawini's deep comeback. There was a rally, 10 shots, 12 shots. Eala noticed a gap. Down the line, she ripped a forehand after stepping in. Penny strained and scurried, but the ball was out of her reach. The game is set. Eala, match. It exploded in the stadium. It was more than a cheer. It was a liberation, an explosion of joyous sound. Alex let her racket fall. She covered her face with her hands. She collapsed on the ground. This was not a courteous victory celebration. Someone who had been supporting the sky for 2 hours collapsed. This leads us to the point at which anything goes viral. The in-court interviewer came over to her after they shook hands and gave each other high fives. Alex was clearly trembling. She had crimson eyes. She was attempting to gather her thoughts and catch her breath. She was given the microphone. Thor. Audience fell slightly silent, listening intently to everything she said. Players typically respond to standard media training by saying, "I played well. She's a tough opponent. Thank you" to fans. However, Eala deviated from the plan. She surveyed the stadium. She examined the flags. She gazed upon the faces of the medics, engineers, construction workers, domestic assistants, and members of the Filipino diaspora who had sacrificed their hard-earned money to support her. She also broke. She broke down in tears. It was a true, heaving sob, not a hushed one. Her voice cracked as she attempted to speak. Every single point, she stated, "I felt you. I sensed you. I felt like I was being carried by angels today." So she questioned, "How many of you are praying?" After looking straight into the camera and then back at the crowd. "What number of you are in prayer?" That is the video that is currently doing the rounds throughout the world. What number of you are in prayer? Why is this becoming viral? Why is this important? Because it recognizes the spiritual bond between Filipino fans and Filipino athletes. Sports are more than simply entertainment in the Philippines. It's faith. The crime rate fell to 0 when Manny Pacquiao fought. Alex is playing halts productivity. She is aware of this. Millions of people pray for her, and she is aware of this. Pray literally. In Quezon City, churches light candles. In Cebu, people pray rosary in their living rooms. That mystical energy was palpable to her. Additionally, she confirmed their faith in her moment of victory rather than bragging about her forehand. We rarely witness this degree of humility and connection in contemporary sports, which are frequently controlled by ego and arrogance. But she told them, "Your prayers worked. I am the vessel of your hope." It was uncooked. It was authentic. And because it was so beautifully human, it caused the internet to crash. Let's zoom out now. Since this didn't happen in a vacuum, let's place this victory and this feeling inside the framework of her professional path. The grind that began years ago has culminated in this moment. We need to discuss 2025. The previous year marked a sea change. Alex was a great junior and a potential prior to 2025. However, she started to be considered in 2025. Do you recall the Miami Open? The warning shot was that she eliminated well-known names as a wild card. Madison Keys was defeated by her. In a contest defying logic, she defeated the top-ranked Instagram user in the world, Switek. She advanced to the semifinals. She belonged, as that run demonstrated. One of the first Filipinos to win a Grand Slam singles match in the contemporary era was the US Open. Clara Tauson lost to her. In the second round, Jessica Pagula defeated her. However, because she pushed a player in the top 5 to the limit, even that defeat was also a success. It was after that US Open loss that we first saw the intense emotion, the viral moment where she said, "I looked up and there were so many flags." She is fueled by this patriotism. It is her superpower, but it is also her kryptonite because it comes with immense pressure. There's a narrative floating around, one that has been discussed by tennis pundits and even alluded to in fake viral rumors involving Roger Federer. The idea of the golden cage, the idea that Eala is under too much pressure, the idea that being the chosen one for a country of 110 million people is a trap. Think about it. Most 20-year-olds are worrying about college exams or dating. Eala is worrying about lifting the spirits of a nation. Every loss is scrutinized. Every coaching change is debated. Her time at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, miles away from home, isolated, grinding on a clay courts, has molded her into a machine. But it has also been a lonely road. Joan Bosch, her coach, has spoken about this. The discipline required to make it in the WDA is insane. It is a meat grinder. So when she asks, "How many of you are praying?" by stating, "I cannot do this alone," she is also exposing the athlete's loneliness. Because the physical demands are too great, I need your spiritual intervention. We can't overlook the tennis, so let's examine the technical side of this victory over Polini. This match's stat sheet is interesting. Alex had a 68% first serve percentage. That is an important figure. She takes charge after landing her opening serve. The breakpoint saved, however, is a more telling statistic. In the second set, she saved important breakpoints. This demonstrates mental toughness. Previously, Alex had a history of collapsing under constant stress. She would lose her left forehand. Rather than hitting the ball, she would begin to guide it. Even if Polini was choking today, and let's face it, choking is the same thing as blowing 3 match points, she restarted. She located the reset button. That is a champion's mark. A champion is not a person who is fearless. Someone who becomes anxious, makes a mistake, and then succeeds is a champion. In any case, she did that during the tiebreak. We must also talk about the ramifications for ranking. With her victory, Alex ensures her place in the top 50 and advances to the round of 16 in Dubai. It is anticipated that she will rise to approximately number 43 or 42 in the globe. Why is this important? Due to the seats. The magic number in tennis is 32. You are seated at Grand Slams if you place in the top 32. In the first round, you do not play a top player. You are given a safe route. Alex is getting closer, and closer to become a seeded player, which is the ultimate goal. She might be seeded by the time we reach Wimbledon or Roland Garros if she maintains this form. That makes all the difference. Her career path shifts from tenacious underdog to respectable second-place candidate. Let's return to the audience in Dubai, though. We must discuss the Filipino hysteria. The video that we are viewing from outside, the stadium is equally as impactful as the events that took place within. Thousands of fans who were unable to purchase tickets are reportedly chanting, singing, and waving flags while watching on large screens in the tennis village. This brings back memories of the World Cup scenes. Typically, tennis is a sport played by quiet elites. It's strawberries and country clubs. With Filipinos, Eala is democratizing tennis. The noise is coming from her. The WDA adores the bangy vibe she is bringing to the WTA Tour. Stars are needed for the tour. They require fervor. Markets are necessary for them. The market in the Philippines is enormous. Eala is more than just a sportsman. For the tour, she is a business asset. Engagement and viewership both increase when she performs. She receives the primetime night slots as a result. She receives the interviews as a result. She moves needles. But we also need to address the clickbait aspect of some of her headlines. You'll see videos like Nadal reveals the truth or Federer shocks the world about Eala. Although a lot of this is noise, there is a glimmer of truth in it. The tennis community is paying attention. They are keeping an eye on her to see if she can maintain it. Is she able to endure the physical toil? WTA competitions are cruel. 11 months of travel, hotels, jet lag, and injuries. Alex has experienced a number of physical challenges. She has struggled with exhaustion, cramping, and foot injuries. She cried today because she was relieved that her body survived that second set. She was walking step for step with Pinny. Among the fittest players on the tour is Polini. Alex's fitness training at the academy is paying off, as evidenced by his ability to outscore her in a tiebreak after 2 hours. She is more powerful. She has thicker legs. She has more stability in her core. The slender teen is no longer her. She has a pro body and is a professional athlete. Let's analyze the quotation. From a cultural and linguistic standpoint, how many of you are praying a little more? The term bahala is frequently used in the Philippines. Let God handle it. Alex didn't say bahala na though. She requested active involvement. What number of you are in prayer? It suggests a collaboration. It suggests that the fan is active. The fan is taking part in the triumph. This idea is very Filipino. On a tennis court in Dubai, Anna invoked her by any spirit of communal unity. She gave her fans the impression that they were hitting the winning forehand, whether she meant it or not. That is a brilliant display of emotional intelligence. What's next? Serrana Cersei, another seasoned fighter and hard hitter, will be her next opponent. Linda Noskowa was beaten by Cersei. Alex has a chance to win this match. If she prevails, she will advance to the WTA 1000 quarterfinals, which is extremely rare. Elite territory, that is. However, the story has already been written, regardless of what occurs in the subsequent round. The Polini encounter will be the tournament's most memorable moment. The tears will be what people remember. Because of the prayer query, it will be remembered. And that's the truth of what we just saw, my friends. We frequently become engrossed in numbers when it comes to sports news, you know? We discuss head-to-head records, unforced mistake statistics, and first serve percentages. Indeed, those things are important. They are the game's mechanics. Occasionally, however, a moment transcends the mechanics. A moment catches you by the heart and tears through the screen. One of the occasions was when Alexandra Eala defeated Jasmine Polini in Dubai. It wasn't the most hygienic game ever. The final wasn't a grand slam. However, it was a masterwork of human feeling. She wasn't asking for a show of hands when Alex asked, "How many of you are praying?" Every Filipino understands deep within that our successes are never achieved alone, and she was recognizing this fact. Everywhere we travel, we bring our family, hometowns, and nation with us. You are never truly alone, whether you are a tennis player on the center court, an engineer in Dubai, or a nurse in London. This is also a success for the millions of fans who have followed Alex since her junior years, through her injuries, losses, and now her unprecedented ascent into the top 50. It was you she was speaking to. She was crying because of you. I want to leave you with this idea as we wrap up today. When our athletes perform poorly, we are prone to criticizing them. We are quick to criticize their fitness or coaching decisions. Today, however, let's just recognize the bravery required to stand in the arena by yourself and battle until you are completely exhausted. Let's recognize how vulnerable it is to show your tears to the world. Alex is 20 years old. She still has a long career to go. There will be additional losses. Heartbreaks are inevitable. She will be unstoppable, though, as long as she has that passion and knows that millions of people are praying. The enthusiasm among Filipinos is genuine. There has never been a more radiant Golden Girl. Additionally, the tennis community has been placed on notice. Nation is what you're playing, not just Alex Eala. We appreciate you viewing this in-depth analysis. Please remember to use the like button if you found this in-depth analysis enjoyable. It enables us to reach a wider audience with the narrative. If you want to follow Alex's progress all the way to the Dubai Championships and beyond, subscribe. Every game, every point, and every tier will be covered.